All right, so our Goldberg machine is going to start out with Jake casting his fishing rod. So what type of energy is that?
So there's a little bit of elastic energy within the rod itself, you can see that. And then over here, it's going to pull a pencil, which has some gravitational potential, right? This pencil here, which is going to, the big thick one. It's going to fall onto the mousetrap, and that has the spring potential, right? And that spring, and that gravitational is going to unleash that. I like unleash, that's a good word. It's going to unleash the spring potential there, which is going to pull on this string, giving it
It's going to pull this little piece of cardboard out, which is going to drop a ball, which is not in there right now, but it's going to drop a ball into this giant tube.
And that ball has potential energy, and when this kinetic energy pulls this out, that's going to convert this potential energy into kinetic energy. As it comes down this tube, it's going to keep its kinetic energy, right? It's going to travel into here. It's going to hit the back of this cardboard thing. And on the other side here, there's a ping pong ball. There should be. I can't see if there is one right now.
Yes, there's one.
And then
so the golf ball is going to hit right here, which is going to knock this ping pong ball into over here, into this ramp.
It transfers its kinetic energy to the cardboard, which transfers the kinetic energy to the ping pong ball. Ping pong ball currently has some gravitational potential. As you can see, it's elevated above here, right? It's going to fall down here as it converts its gravitational potential into kinetic energy, right? It's going to keep falling down here. It's going to knock this, which is going to transfer its kinetic energy. As you can see, this has some gravitational potential energy.
And then this golf ball is going to roll down to this ramp right here, which is in turn going to knock this marble.
Now, as this goes, it's going to be converting its gravitational potential into kinetic energy. It's going to roll down here. When it knocks the marble, it's going to give it its kinetic energy, right? And this has a little bit of gravitational potential, just enough. And that's going to knock the marble down here, transferring its kinetic energy. The marble is going to knock that tinfoil ball, which will transfer its kinetic energy. And as you can see, it's got quite a bit of gravitational potential. All right, we'll explain the rest, even though Bridgers just triggered the whole thing. This will all be on fire when you see it next. And that's going to roll down there. And there's supposed to be a string, but Bridger just knocked it over. That's going to burn. And there's a baseball that goes down inside there. And it's going to roll and knock over the cup of dog food, which you can see Bridger has already done.
Yes. Okay, in my defense, though, it's very hard to get through these stairs.
Now, as the alcohol burns through the string, it converts the chemical energy into thermal energy, which burns the string, which releases the baseball, which has gravitational potential, converts it into kinetic energy. And when it hits the cup, that transfers its kinetic energy into the cup, which then releases its potential energy as kinetic energy, releasing the dog food into the cup.